One autumn day, the Fat Controller came to Tinmouth Sheds. He had special news for the engines. "Today is the day of the autumn fair," he said. "I would like all of you to help get it ready. Emily, you are to collect the brass band."
"Yes, sir,"
said Emily. "Henry, you are to collect the bandstand." "Yes, sir," said Henry happily. "Now I will need an engine to collect Alicia Botti," said the Fat Controller. Thomas and Percy wanted to collect Alicia Botti, but then they had a better idea.
"Let Toby collect her,"
said Percy. "He can take Henrietta," suggested Thomas. "What a good idea," said the Fat Controller. "Toby, you can collect Alicia Botti." Toby was very happy. "Unfortunately, Toby," said the Fat Controller, "your branch line is closed today, so you will have to use the main line to get to the airport."
"Yes, sir,"
said Toby, but now he was worried. After the Fat Controller left, Thomas and Percy could see Toby was worried.
"What's wrong, Toby?"
asked Percy. "I'll never make it," said Toby.
"I haven't used the main line for a very long time."
He could still remember the time he had been sent to the workstation, but had run out of water and had to wait for James to help. "That was a long time ago," said Thomas. "You've improved since then, you'll be alright." But Toby wasn't so sure. He was sure something was going to go wrong. Later, while Toby was being polished, he still got worried about the main line. Then, at the station, Mrs. Connolly made a table of tea, cakes and sandwiches. Toby was ready to start, but was very worried. "All set, Toby!" called the station master. "Off you go!" And Toby dinged his bell and puffed away.
He was very worried.
Then, as Toby neared a bend, Henrietta started to rock and roll.
"Take it steady," said Henrietta. "It's not my fault," said Toby. "The track's too bumpy."
The tea in Henrietta was being spilt. Suddenly, a signal changed to red.
"Stop!" cried Toby.
As he stopped, Henrietta biffed into him, and all the food flew everywhere. Just then, Percy passed Toby.
"Don't worry, Toby, you'll be alright."
But Toby wasn't so sure. Then, as the signal changed to green, Toby puffed away again. Toby puffed under a bridge. Some children waved and cheered.
"Hello, Toby!"
they cheered, but Toby didn't hear them. He was still worried. Then there was trouble. Toby didn't know that the points up ahead were broken, and he ended up puffing onto the wrong track. The track was old and overgrown. Trees and bushes covered everything. Toby and Henrietta were covered in leaves. At last they puffed back onto the main line. Later, Thomas passed by pulling trucks of tomatoes. He was surprised to see Toby covered in leaves. "Cheer up, Toby," said Thomas. "Just take it easy." But Toby didn't think so. He was sure something else was going to go wrong. Suddenly, a farmer called out to Toby, "Stop!" But Toby didn't hear him, and Toby didn't know that the farmer had been trying to warn him about the muddy dip in the track.
"Slow down!"
called Elizabeth.
But it was too late. Toby splashed into the muddy pool.
"Oh no!" cried Elizabeth. Toby puffed out of the muddy pool and puffed on. Soon he arrived at the airport. Toby saw Alicia Botti was waiting. Alicia Botti gasped when she saw Toby. Toby was waiting for Alicia Botti to say something awful, but Alicia Botti didn't say anything. She just stared. She looked very upset. "I'm sorry, Alicia Botti," said Toby. "My branch line was closed, so I had to use the main line to get to the airport. I was scared," he went on, "because I haven't used the main line for a very long time, and I knew something was going to go wrong." Alicia Botti smiled.
"That's alright, Toby," she said. "Everyone gets like that sometimes. I haven't travelled in a tram engine for a long time, but Sir Topham has told me about you, and I know you will give me a splendid ride.
Toby was surprised. So I had no reason to fear the main line after all, he smiled.
Of course not, said Alicia Botti. It just takes some getting used to. You'll get used to the main line again.
Toby felt very happy, and he felt much better already.
Come on, let's go and get you cleaned up,
said Alicia Botti. She climbed on board, and Toby puffed back to the washdown. Don't worry, Toby, said the washers. We'll have you sparkling and clean in no time. Toby was very happy. He and Henrietta loved being covered in foam and bubbles. Alicia spoke to Toby.
When we go back onto the main line, don't be so scared. You'll get used to it. Just take it easy and keep calm. I will, said Toby. I promise.
And while Toby was talking to Alicia Botti, Mrs. Kindly made another table of tea, cakes and sandwiches. Soon, Toby was shiny and clean and ready to go, and he set off for the autumn fair. Toby started his journey through Knapford Station. Alicia Botti was enjoying her cup of tea. Thomas and James cheered for Toby.
Well done, Toby,
said James happily. Then Toby puffed under a bridge. He dinged his bell as he passed the children. This is fun, he smiled happily.
I can go on the main line after all.
Then, as Toby came to a bend in the track, he slowed down and took care. Toby started to get the hang of the main line now. After remembering what Alicia had said, he managed to make sure he took things carefully and steadily. It wasn't long before they arrived at the autumn fair. Everyone cheered when they saw Toby with Alicia Botti. The fat controller was very pleased with Toby. Well done, Toby, he smiled. You brought Alicia Botti to the autumn fair right on time.
Thank you, sir,
said Toby happily. I see you got used to the main line again, added the fat controller.
Yes, sir, said Toby, but I couldn't have done it without Alicia Botti. She showed me that it's easy to get used to old things again.
Alicia Botti felt very happy. Well done, Toby. You are indeed a really useful engine.
Thank you, sir,
said Toby happily. He felt very proud to be useful again, and he had learned that even though he hadn't used the main line for a long time, he knew it would be very easy to get used to in the end.